Hello, I'm David. Welcome to Autobunker, and in this video I've set myself the challenge of finding the car with the most go for the least amount of dough. So that requires a good trawl of Autotrader and a little bit of maths first to work out the best ratio between price and performance. So first of all, let's get into the science bit. So we're at the Autobunker control panel, otherwise known as the laptop, and I must admit it took me a little bit to get my head around the maths of this one, because we're looking for a car that's super fast at accelerating but isn't too expensive, or is as cheap as we can get it. So buying a Bugatti Veyron for a couple of £1,000,000 isn't going to cut the mustard. We want something for £5,000 that can go almost as fast, if such a thing exists. So let's introduce the formula that I worked out that's going to make this all work for us so we can analyze the data that's out there. So it took me a little while to work out a good ratio for calculating this. We want a relationship between price and the time it takes to get to 60 miles an hour acceleration. And as each of those numbers gets smaller, cheaper car, better value, lower 0 to 60 time, the quicker it is, we want the ratio to increase so we can calculate the best performance per pound. And because we want the ratio to increase as the acceleration decreases, we need to create an inverse of that. So we'll put 1 over the 0 to 60 time, and to keep it in proportion to the price, because £1,000 is way faster than 3 seconds, then we need to put a multiplier in there. So let's take 10,000, put that in the top line, and we'll divide that by the price in pounds and the 0 to 60 time in seconds, and that will give us V, our value for money ratio of performance per pound. Let's get into Autotrader and find the best cars that fit that ratio. I've set a couple of extra ground rules for this search as well. No electric cars, because we're not interested in anything that doesn't make a great noise as it blasts off the line. And 2, it has to be a running car, so no project Lamborghinis or anything that's smashed up into 1,000 pieces. It has to be a running car, something that we can get in and drive, even if it's going to fall apart on us 5 days later. So I started in the most obvious place. The fastest car I could find on Autotrader, a Bugatti Veyron, 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds, but a price tag of £2.1 million, which gave a very disappointing V ratio of 0.002. Very fast, far too expensive. Let's see if we can find some cheaper cars that go almost as quick. So I narrowed in the price, kept the 0 to 60 at under 4 seconds, and I found a TVR Cerberus looking great in blue for £14,000. Calculate the V ratio, and that comes in at 0.183, a massive increase over the Veyron. We're heading in the right direction. The next car I found, coming in at a mere £10,995, was this very smart Audi S5. This has 0 to 60 of 4.7 seconds, or it does when it's brand new and working. That gave us a V value of 0.194, the best yet. There are a few cars in this sort of £15,000 price bracket that were looking like candidates. This BMW M5, 16,000, 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds, not quite as good value as the Audi, a V value of 0.16. So we were in a bit of a wormhole here, so I switched the search parameters around. I went for, instead of the fastest cars, some of the cheapest ones, so 0 to 60 in 4 to 6 seconds, but in this sub £3,000 bracket. Let's see what we could turn up. So let's get this V ratio right up. Start with 2 quick contenders. First, this Audi TT, £2,400, 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds, giving us a ratio of 0.7, a massive leap compared to the previous cars. Next, a Mercedes SLK, a heady £1,650, but with 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds. That's a lot of go for your dough. And that gives us a V ratio of 1.1. So we're really getting there now in terms of value for money for how quick we can go. But here we are, the winning car. Not quite what I expected. It's an Audi A8, 4.2 TDI, so a huge amount of torque, coming in at £1,500 as a part exchange with no warranty whatsoever, but 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds, giving a V ratio of go for the dough of 1.13. I couldn't find a quicker, better value car out there on Autotrader. I would love to know if you can search and find one for yourselves that beats my formula. So here we go, a table of the results, all the cars that we've been through ranked in order of value for money for performance, and I'd love to know if there are any of those cars that piqued your interest as we went through them. I have to say that Audi TT 3.2 litre for £2,400, that's got to be worth a look. It's probably a nightmare to maintain and tax, but we'll just ignore those factors. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'd love it if you'd hit follow and subscribe so we can go down more car internet wormholes together, and I'll see you in the next video very soon. Thanks for watching.